Good morning, it's Anand here from Osho, Ireland, and today we have the 97th meditation technique. This is a follow-on from last week's technique where we found some empty space, some landscape where we could sit and be silent with that, be alone with it, so moving into our aloneness. So this is an add-on technique to the first one. So you can continue with the first one or you can use this add-on. And the instructions are: consider the plenum to be your own body bliss. And if you're like me, scratching your head, wondering what that means, because I did, I didn't know what it meant. And what it means is, and Osho explains this beautifully, he said this technique is concerned with the first. Consider space to be your own body of bliss. So this word plenum means your own body of bliss. Meditating on a hilltop with endless space before you can do it. Consider it to be filled with your own body of bliss. And he says there are 7 bodies and the bliss is the last body. So you may have heard, our aura and various others. I don't know what the middle ones are. Maybe by the time I finish this Book of Secrets, I might know. But he says if you can't imagine that, or you've never had a glimpse of your body bliss, he says start with silence. So always start with what you know. So if we're sitting here together, maybe be filled with silence, and that can be nature sounds. So Osho talks about how the sounds from nature are harmonious, the birds, the wind, allowing all of that to fill you and feeling yourself filling the space with the silence. And when you're comfortable with that, then you can get a glimpse of our body bliss. I don't feel there's any words for that. But when you get the taste of something that's a bit beyond words, fill the entire space with that. So he says, it will be good if you move alone somewhere and do this, practice this alone. This technique will be helpful, but remember to start with something that you can feel. I have seen people doing techniques which they cannot feel. If you cannot feel, if you don't have any experience, even a glimpse, then the whole thing becomes false. So start with something that you know. And Osho ends about talking about this technique, about compassion, and he talks about Buddha and how Buddha didn't use the word God because there's no experience of God, and always to start with the very beginning. So I'd like to read just this last piece, which I thought that was beautiful. He says, Buddha said, you cannot work with it, meaning God. It is the very end, and you cannot bring the end into the beginning. So begin from the very beginning. Forget the end will follow automatically. Don't think of God. Think of compassion. Think of love. And now Osho says, so he doesn't say, meaning Buddha, say that one should feel that God is everywhere. One should simply feel compassion for everyone who is there, for the tree, for human beings, for animals. Simply feel compassion. Feel sympathetic. Create a love, because love you know, howsoever little. There has been something like love in everybody's life. So for me, I'm going to do this technique connecting with compassion and with love. And I'm going to fill the space that I'm in with love and sit with that for 10 minutes. And if you'd like to do that or some other way with silence, we'll do it together, and it will end when 3 bells go. So enjoy. Thank you for joining me, and have a beautiful day. And I'll see you next Sunday at 11 for number 98. Bipin, I see your message. I love Osho too. Thank you. Bye bye.